this evening. Hope that you can hear me and see me okay. So I'm a few minutes late, but on time as usual, a few minutes after 9. Pardon for the background again. I mentioned last time or two I was live. Background change here. Haven't been able to change it back again. And it is great to be back. Yes, my name is Sarah. I'm Sarah. Oh, I can talk. I'm your coffee drinking and tea leaf reader. Hi. And I'm just hopping into the chat now, and I see Linda, you are online. Hi, Linda. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for your sweet comment too. It is really nice to be back. I actually wasn't too sure if I was actually going to go live tonight or not. I'm still kind of sore. A couple things came up last week. I sort of hinted or alluded to that in my comment section, community tab updates there. But there was a couple things happening last week. One of which rather included a little bit of an injury. So I'm not moving too fast or too far. I'm taking my time. Standing for tonight's live. It's either sit in pain or stand in pain. I will stand. So I'm probably going to keep this live somewhat short for obvious reasons that I've just mentioned. But I did want to come in, check in, say hi to everyone. Hope that you're doing really well. Thank you so much again for being here. Thank you for all of your likes, your shares, your subscribes, your comments. I appreciate them all. Thank you so much, and all of your views. Thank you so much, Linda. Well, and Linda, looks like it's just us girls tonight. Not one on here yet, but Linda's young. So in case you're watching this now, or in case you're watching in the replay, and you're watching this live replay, and you don't know who I am, my name is Sarah. Thank you again for being here. I really appreciate you tuning in tonight. And yes, I am your coffee drinking and tea leaf reader. So this is what we do 2 times every week. We go live ideally twice a week. Last week was a bit of an issue with me. I could not do it, but usually it's twice a week. Mondays and Thursdays. So we do 2 lives. One is for the weekly reading. It's a general weekly tea leaf reading. That's what we do here. We do tea leaf readings. I'll get to that in just a second. So we go live 2 times a week. One is for the weekly reading. Look at the week ahead to see whatever the boss would like us to know. I'm making all these gestures off screen. Can't see them, but it's whatever the boss would like us to know as week unfolds. And then on Thursday evenings is the live viewer readings. Now, again, circumstances sort of happened last week, a little bit beyond my control, and I could not go live. I tried to reschedule a few times, just would not work. Could not do it. But as of now, my plan is to go live again this week. Obviously, belated Happy Labor Day to those of us who celebrated it. I figured last night, let's just call it a night. And well, Linda, I see that you wrote. Sorry, I have 2 screens going on at the same time. No problem, pen and paper ready. So, okay, Linda, you know what's kind of funny here, Linda? We're just going to ignore algorithms because the algorithms are changing as we're talking. But that's what we do. So we will be back as of now on this Thursday. And you do need to schedule that live. So we will be back again here on Thursday night. So if you have never had a tea leaf reading before, yes, a tea leaf reading, never had a cup reading before, and you are curious about the process and like to know what it is and what it's all about and have a quick little 5-minute reading, we do that on Thursday nights. So that will be this Thursday. Again, pardon my lack of movement here. Some back injuries. This happened last week. Thursday, September the 5th, it looks like. That will be at 9 p.m. Eastern. So if you would like to have a quick 5-minute tea leaf reading, please do come back again here on Thursday night at 9 p.m. Eastern. And we do offer 3 free 5-minute tea leaf readings. Those are a goodwill gesture on my part. So please come back if you've never had a reading, or if you've had a reading and you're just curious to see what the process is like. Most welcome to come back again here on Thursday night. I do need to post that or schedule that live. I have it tentatively kind of scheduled. I just have to go make that live. Likely we'll do that either this evening or tomorrow. So without further ado, let's start this week's tea leaf reading. So in case you're not too sure, you don't know what I'm talking about here, tea leaf reading, sorry for the background noise, I am boiling water. Tea leaf reading involves looking at images which are formed by tea leaves in a cup. They all mean different things. They can be literal, symbolic, and or both, the images. And we interpret those images. We look to see what those images represent. It's a whole conversation. Tea leaf reading, you can talk about that for like 2 to 3 hours very, very easily. It's a very simple divination tool, which is a divine tool, way to ask where we see divine guidance. So in a way, tea leaf reading is very, very simple. However, it is extremely complex. We could very easily be sitting here for 2 to 3, if not, a little bit more hours, strictly talking about tea leaf reading. There's a lot involved with that. But what we do here, keep it very simple. We go live twice a week. So tonight we will be looking at the tea leaves to see whatever the boss making all these hand gestures off screen, whatever the divine source would like us to know. And that is a look at the week ahead. So I know usually we would be doing this on Monday night. Obviously, Labor Day happened. So this is a reschedule for last night's live. Again, I do aim to be live again this Thursday, September the 5th. I think is what I said, right, Linda? And that it will be at 9 p.m. Eastern. Soon we will be changing back to non-summer hours of 8 p.m. Eastern. We did change it to 9 p.m. obviously because of the summer, and trying to make use of that extra hour so in the evening. But soon we will be back to 8 p.m. Eastern. Just get myself ready off here, looking at Linda's comment yet again. And if you're watching live, please come into the chat. We always have lovely people here, so please feel free to come on in and say hi. This is one of the main reasons why I do like to go live, is because this way it is very interactive. We can communicate, we can talk back and forth with each other, obviously. So if you are watching live and you want to hop into the chat, come in. And I know Linda's here. She's Linda's regular. She can see all of this off by heart. No problem. She says pen and paper ready. So don't worry. That's awesome. Linda does awesome note taking. So she's famous. That's what Linda's famous for that. So if you've never had a reading and you're curious to see what a tea leaf reading is like, hang in there with us. I'm just getting the reading ready right now. And if you have any questions about about whatever comes through tonight, you can always ask Linda. Totally put you in that there. Totally put you in there, Linda. No, but I jest. But no, Linda is an awesome note taker, and she takes notes for every single weekly reading. So I don't know how you do it, Linda. I really don't know how you do it. So let's get the cup ready. I have the tea, a bit of a different setup here in the background, so please bear with me just so I'll get myself set up. Kareem, hope I'm saying your name correctly. Morning. Well, good morning to you. It's evening where I am. I'm located in southwestern Ontario. So evening for me, but morning for you. So good morning, and thank you so much for being here. That's awesome. Yeah, if you're watching, how about hopping into the chat? Just getting the tea leaves ready right now. And again, this is a weekly reading. So this is a general weekly tea leaf reading. So again, Linda is an old hat. She can say all of this verbatim. But I will say a few things here as disclaimers, as we often do, as we always do actually, before every weekly reading. And if you're reading for that matter. So this is a general weekly reading. So again, this is a situation where I always say, please take what you will and leave what you don't. Readings all that I always offer are always for entertainment purposes only. So again, please take what you will and leave what you don't. Some, none, or all of the information that is related in this reading may resonate with you, may apply to you, may not. Some, none, or all of it may or may not apply. That is completely normal, completely to be expected, because it is a general reading. Oh, thanks. Oh, thank you. Oh, there you go. Thanks, Linda. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, again, if you're watching, hop on in the chat. Everyone here is very, very friendly. So I'm just getting the tea leaves ready right now. I will aim to have the replay of this live posted tomorrow. I will aim to have it scheduled to be posted late morning. And I will also aim to take pictures of the tea leaves and post them over on my community tab in case you're curious and would like to see what the tea leaves look like. You're most welcome to check that out too. Again, I will have that all posted tomorrow. Kareem, hope I'm saying your name correctly there. Where are you from? Yeah, like I just mentioned, I'm in southwestern Ontario, Canada. So southern, depending on your take of it, southern southwestern Ontario, Canada. Yeah, lived here my entire life. That is where I am from, and that's where I currently am. Okay. I do have 2 different screens open here for the chat. I do have my phone that I'm using to stream. I also have my laptop over here off to the side so I can actually read the chat. So just please bear with me. And my setup is all completely different tonight for a few reasons, like I just mentioned. So please just bear with me as I'm reading said chat on the screen and chat off to the side. Okay, I may just use the chat on my screen tonight, but I'm very short-sighted, so hence me squinting away as I'm trying to read what everyone's writing here. So this is what we do, Kareem. So thanks so much again for being here. Just checking the consistency of the tea leaves. Everyone reads totally different. People do read tea leaves very differently. And there are many different ways that you can read tea leaves. Tea leaf reading is also referred to sometimes as tasseomancy, tasseography, tasseology. They all refer to the French or Arabic root word of tass or tassa from my own research, which do refer to cup reading. But in this case, we do use tea. So we're just calling it tea leaf reading. Been doing this now for just over 14 years, which seems almost baffling to me. It's been that long. Okay, and this is a goodwill gesture on my part. Like I've been doing this now. We've been refrain I to we. We have been doing this now for how long has it been, Linda? It's been a while, a couple years almost. What, a year and a half or so now, Linda? Doing this for a little while in the lives for the past several months, and the main reason for that is again, it's partly to mess up with the algorithms a little bit, but also mainly the main reason, honestly, though, is that so we can interact with each other and communicate as well as we possibly can until with such time as that we are actually in the same room together at the same time. This is the next best thing. At Linda, at okay, thank you. Just checking the consistency. So I'm going to get the leaves ready right now. So let me just go ahead and swirl the leaves. Again, I most likely will keep this live fairly short tonight. Like I said, I have a couple, one specific injury. I'm kind of sore tonight, so I won't be online. A little bit sore tonight, a little bit sore. Won't be on for too long. But I did want to hop on here and do this reading for you, for everyone watching. So again, entertainment purposes only. Please take what you will, leave what you don't. There is one big long disclaimer in the description box below, and you're most welcome to read that should you wish to. Also, sorry, background noise here. I'm pushing these back down into the base of the cup. And let's also do a couple of shameless plugs here. If you are interested in having a private reading, I absolutely do offer those. I am available for those. So if you are interested in scheduling a private reading, please check out all of my links below. I do have a link tree. It's probably the easiest and fastest way to get in touch with me. And also that's in the description box below. As well, if you are interested in making a financial contribution to support this channel, if you are able to and are interested and are able to, thank you so much. Don't feel like you have to, but if you want to, I do also have a link to my Ko-fi page down in the description box below as well, my Ko-fi account. So if you'd like to buy me a cup of coffee or a cup of tea or buy my dog Brie a biscuit, Brie sometimes, she's a little bit famous. Sometimes like, you'll hear her walk along in the background. She's pretty tired tonight though. Then thank you so much. And again, all of those links are in the description box below, and all of your help, like every single thing that you do to help this channel, watching, viewing, liking, subscribing, commenting, sharing, these are all, I know they all sound very, very small, but they are so, so huge because they really do help with the algorithm. So again, thank you so much for all of your help. You're Canadian. Well, that's awesome to have another Canuck here. Linda, yes, Linda. I'm from Kansas, USA. Oh, that's awesome. So definitely an international audience this evening. Okay, so without further ado, let's go ahead and get these tea leaves ready. So I already have everything set to go. My phone is quite tilted, so if it looks a little bit distorted in the camera, that's why. But 1, 2, 3, flip. I'll turn that over. And I put the tea into the cup. I've put the hot water in. I've swirled the leaves, and now I've upturned the cup, and now I am just turning around about 3 or 4 times clockwise, always clockwise. Energetically, that reinforces, and this will help to, well, this is for tradition. Turn it around a few times. And then I'm going to ever so quickly allow it to strain any excess liquid tea out of the cup. This is something that I just myself like to do because it allows, well, it prevents rather any skewing of the leaves in the base of the cup from any excess liquid accumulating there rather. So yeah, it's a bit of a process getting a cup ready for tea leaf reading, at least the way that I do it. So it always takes me a few minutes to get the cup ready. But I do hope that you enjoy this reading. And again, I am going to aim to have the replay posted tomorrow, most likely around like late morning or so. And again, I'm going to aim to have pictures of the tea leaves posted rather on my community tab at around the same time, if not slightly before then. So that way you can always go ahead and check those out too and see the leaves for yourself. So you can see what I've been looking at. Just getting the leaves ready right now. And Tea leaf reading is definitely a unique divination tool. Everyone does it. I shouldn't say everyone, but people do read tea leaves differently. The way that I myself read is chronological. And so I will quickly show you what I mean by that. I read solely about the way that I do it is, like I said, chronological. So I know different traditions read differently, like different portions of the cup mean different, represent different areas of life. I don't read it like that. For me, it's strictly time-based, like only time-based. That's just how I've always done it. Okay. So before I talk about a little bit about that a bit more, here are the tea leaves. I always like to show you before I look at them. So you're getting a sneak peek first, actually. You're seeing them before I do. Of course, any images that you see that are different from the images that I see are that's completely accurate as well. Again, everyone reads completely different. So again, the way that I myself read is chronological. That's what I was alluding to before. So the rim is the present situation. The sides are on the way, and the base is more of the distant future. So again, that's now, now on the way and later. So for us, in our case, this being a weekly tea leaf reading, now it was like, okay, I know this is Tuesday, but we're going to treat this cup still as if we're reading on the Monday. The rim is like Monday. Mid cup is approximately like tomorrow being Wednesday. And the base is this weekend and heading into next week. Okay. No, it always takes, I know there's always a preamble. I know it always takes about 15 to 20 minutes or so to get the reading started. I know that. But thank you again so much for hanging in there with me for this long. And if you're just joining now, most welcome. Come on into the chat if you'd like. We are very friendly. We love meeting people. And yeah, please feel free to come on in and chat away. So I am going to be looking at the cup. Like I said, this is a weekly reading. So this is a look at the week ahead to see whatever the universe would like us to know as the week unfolds. Please give me just a moment. Like I said, a bit of a different setup here tonight. We'll aim for around 20 minutes or so approximately. Maybe 15 to 20 minutes approximately. Okay. Ready? Let's go. I will be keeping an eye on the chat. So again, please feel free to hop on in. And Linda, I know you're there, keeping an eye on things too. Thank you so much for all your help, Linda. Okay. Oh, you're from Kareem. Oh, you're from Quebec. Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. That's amazing. Yes, I've only been there once. That was many years ago. Beautiful, beautiful province here in Canada. Awesome. Well, thanks again for being here. Okay. Well, let's get started and see whatever the universe would like us to know as the week unfolds. Okay. Oh my goodness. Busy week. I know I usually say that because from what I'm seeing, it's always true. Oh my gosh. Okay. Where do we start? Well, let's begin at the beginning. So I would say, and please feel free to put validations into the chat should you wish to. And also, let's always do a quick caveat again here. Entertainment purposes only. Please take what you will, leave what you don't. Take what you will, leave what you don't. Big long disclaimer in the description box below. Okay. So it looks like on Monday, the short version is that it's exceptionally busy. So it looks like yesterday there was a lot going on. Makes sense. I know it was Labor Day, but even so. Very, very busy yesterday. I would also say that in addition to that, rather, there was likely Okay. So I use metaphors a lot, examples a lot. So for example, say yesterday there was like one main event or situation, one slightly smaller situation in terms of importance, and then many other smaller events or situations taking place. So for example, one gold, one silver, and like multiple bronze events taking place yesterday. Now, having said that, it also looks like yesterday and heading into today, obviously this is a bit of retroactive reading here, but yesterday and heading into today, it looks like yesterday also was extremely busy as well. There was one event, okay, I'm actually going to say across the board. Kareem, I'm just going to focus on the reading here, and I'll answer your question right now, and then I'm going to focus on the reading so I can do my best to offer you the most accurate reading as I possibly can. Sarah, are you a medium? Loaded question. The answer is yes. I do offer psychic medium readings as well as tea leaf readings. I absolutely do. I've been doing this now for over 14 years, just over 14 years. Having said that, I firmly believe, I'm of the opinion that many people, if not most people, if not all people, are psychic, are medium, simply a matter of awareness. And if you choose to pursue it, it all comes from the boss. My opinion, it comes from the divine source, God, goddess, universe, divine, light, love, whatever name or names you're comfortable with using, but the top, the boss, all comes from that one divine source. All information does come from that. I never claim to be 100% accurate. I don't think, that's just my opinion. I just don't, because I'm not God. Okay, but to answer your question, yes, I do offer psychic medium readings. Yes, short version is yes. Okay. And thank you so much for asking the question. I really appreciate you asking that. And yeah, so hope that answered your question. So again, generally speaking, across the board, it was just exceptionally busy, I would say, yesterday. In addition to what I've just said about the 1 gold, 1 silver, and like multiple bronzes, in terms of like events and situations taking place, I would also say that yes, absolutely. But also in addition to that, as time and events unfolded, most likely through yesterday, that also was likely the case. But many different things, events and situations taking place across the board, like I said. This is all in addition to the main event or situation, which is being shown and referenced here. This is a layout that we do often see where we do have one main event or situation that is being shown in this case right here. Okay, but you can see all the tea leaves loaded all right below the rim. It's across the board. A lot of things taking place. Okay. Now, in addition to that, however, we have one main event or situation. Pick your words or phrases. That was also taking place likely into today as well. This most likely had some bearing or some connotation with a new idea, a new creative project, a new opportunity of some kind in some way, shape, or form that was taking place. Again, many different things that were loaded into that, many different things taking place within that, but very much a scenario where it was like a lot of significant changes, as well as even though something seemingly fairly small was taking place, actually was very, very significant as well. So even though something very seemingly small was happening and or is happening, leading to something of greater importance, I would say. Letter J, person, place, or thing was involved in that. Letters, whenever I see letters in tea leaf reading, I always say that's people, places, or things. That also involved for definitely, I would say, helpful individuals. Definitely, from what I'm seeing again, forward movement as well. Things progressing, like things going ahead very nicely. Like going ahead, not being held back, going for whatever it is that you want to have, things of that nature. It was a very loaded scenario, even though it was very short term, most likely completed today, actually, being a Tuesday. There was a lot involved in that one scenario. And actually, I would say for sure one, possibly two different ways, but for sure one way actually leads into the base, which is this weekend and heading into next week. And we'll look into that in a second. As part of this main event or as part of this secondary event or situation, which I'm looking at right here, we do have a small area, a small part of it that involves a female, someone who was a female, at least one female involved, as well as involved some kind of forward movement. Again, this progression, yes. Oops, sorry. Sorry for the background noise there. But also like life force, vitality, going for whatever it is that you want to have, and really not being held back. Like feeling very positive, feeling very good, feeling very enthusiastic about life, and going for whatever it is again that what you want to have. Likely the letter F, maybe letter P, but definitely letter F. So F and or P, people, places, or things involved in that situation. Could very easily have had, if not likely had, a Cancer, someone who's Cancerian involved in that situation as well. So I'm no astrologer, I'm not a numerologist, but someone Cancerian, a Cancerian connection. So someone who is that sign and or the qualities of that sign present, most likely, Could very well have been someone who was that sign, like a woman specifically. There's reassurance that I'm seeing around that situation, as well as possibly the letter N. Letter N looks like it was good. There's definitely happy faces from what I'm seeing. If this if this involved you in some way, shape, or form, very, very well may have had some kind of connotation or connection with a house and or home and or family, motion, intuition, healing, possibly. But if you were thinking of moving, I would say it's 100% like from, I shouldn't say that. From what I'm saying, it looked like it wasn't 100% ready to happen, not ready to go as yet, not ready to happen or take place, but something being discussed. Now, whether like that could have been anything from thinking of moving, thinking of renting a property, moving a property, selling a property, to buying a bath mat. Something along the something to do with property. Most likely like a house move or something to that effect, but could literally be anything from like buying a bath mat or plumbing or something like that. But most likely something to do with like moving residence of some kind, but just not ready to happen or take place as of yesterday or as of today. But again, there is reassurance regarding that situation as well. Again, the letter F, present. Oh, Lizzie77. Hi, thank you so much for being here. Apologies if I didn't see your message before now. Sorry, Lizzie77. Off in my own little world, quite literally reading tea leaves here. Didn't see your message. Sorry, I have two screens here going, so just saw that message now. Thanks again for being here. That's awesome. Doing a tea leaf reading here for the week. So whatever this event or situation is overall referring to, looks like it was again concluded about, I'd say around tonight, and likely involved a Scorpio connection. Taurus and or an Aries connection. So someone who is that sign and or the qualities or characteristics of those signs. Again, I am not an astrologer. Look to be a positive situation though. Again, there's a lot of many different things taking place in this one main event and or situation. Thanks, Linda, for all your help. Yeah, definitely a sense here from what I'm seeing, multiple people involved in this overall scenario. And when I was referencing those one, if not two women with that action and momentum and things taking place rather quickly scenario, looked like to be very loving and loving and harmonious. I say that 3 times fast. Scenario. Meant to say that too. Just totally forgot to mention that part. Yeah, but overall, there's definitely a sense here. It's definitely loving, yes, from what I'm seeing. Excuse me. But also, like independent thought, creativity. But yes, independent thought, but also like creativity, making new things, creating something new creative projects, things along those lines. Okay, keep on going. And absolutely, from what I'm seeing, involves, yes, multiple people, but ideas too, like new creative projects, like new opportunities, new ideas, things along those lines. Okay, let's move this along. And let's look at the main event and our situation. And Lizzie 77, if you're just joining now, I gave a bit of an apology at the beginning of the this live tonight. Couldn't go live last week. A few things came up, including a bit of a back injury again. So hence me looking a little bit uncomfortable and saying ow a few times. So apologies in advance for any other ouches or ows I may say in the next few minutes. Okay. So going ahead, looking at this main event under situation right here. Okay. So reading chronologically. Overall, ouch, hope you feel better soon. Thank you so much. Me too. Yeah, not moving too far, not doing too much tonight. Okay. Thank you so much for your well wishes. I really appreciate that. So it looks like this main event and or situation really began like yesterday, heading into today, and it really began with things more up in the air, being talked, like more discussions, things along those lines. And then swiftly after that, things look like they do begin to sort of gain traction. More things are taking place. Now, there's one main, now overall, I'll retract. Now, there's in this main event and/or situation, essentially from what I'm seeing, there's like really three different parts or sections to it. One, we've seen scenarios like this before. So there's like one main area, the main part of it really is comprised mostly of, sorry, I'm a bit dry tonight, Chinese food, really is comprised mostly of thinking and talking, creative ideas, things being discussed, things along those lines, as well as things sort of having clarity and yet not knowing where we stand and yet we don't at the same time, hence the surprises. And also a combination of the two. So there's three parts of that. I mean, like I said, like the main hub, the main part of this whole main event is really mostly comprised of like thinking and talking in words and conversations and ideas, things along those lines. However, it doesn't really begin with that until I would say around Wednesday, approximately. May have had a little bit of that today, but definitely from Wednesday onwards. But this whole main event really begins, yes, with things up in the air, a new opportunity being presented. Actually, that new opportunity being presented, like we had a helpful individual involved, receiving positive things, specifically like one thing, but two things in particular. Could have had a bit of a surprise with that. A small change, but an important one as well. This is like a new opportunity, something that's being presented almost like in front of us. Seemingly very small, maybe even have been like just talked about. But however, that leads or partly does lead to the whole main event or situation being shown in here. Abundance and prosperity, a situation involving that, as well as a helpful individual, likely a man who wears a hat. Now, who that is, obviously, I do not know. Could be referencing someone you know, you yourself, or someone you don't know. But a man with wearing a hat, and somehow this has a whole connotation or connection rather with abundance and prosperity, and something to do most likely to do with the whole house and her home and her family, receiving positive communications in some way, shape, or form as well. But this is all very, I would say, extremely loving, harmonious, supportive, protective, things along those lines. Here. Yeah, this is all about like a new arrival, a new messages, communications, messages and or communications arriving most certainly, I would say, yesterday. Seemingly small, but conversations, communications, a new arrival of information in some way. Most likely to do with the house and her home and her family. Positive though, there's positivity with this. Now, there also there may have been or may be a Scorpio connection in some way, shape, or form. Again, that's involved with that. Again, I'm not an astrologer, but something to do with that. But again, this is all to do with receiving communications about the house and her home and her family, emotions, intuition, healing, things along those lines, like receiving communication. Positive changes with that as well. Positive changes. Stability also being indicated with that. But not to sound repetitive, I keep seeing references in here to receiving communications, news messages, and information. Pick your words and or phrases about the house and her home, the home and her family, things along those lines. Of varying importance and in varying degrees. They all seem to be fairly seemingly inconsequential, unsubstantial, quite small. However, they are part of this whole main event. Like they lead, they are the precipice, they are the beginning. Like they sort of start everything. They kind of start the ball rolling, and in at least partly in a few different ways. Letter G and or C, person, place, or thing, most likely a person. We also have an indication here. Yeah. Just like being almost like the ability to be, what's the right word? What's the word I'm looking for? Help me out, Linda. The word that I'm looking for. multitasking, being able to get a lot of things done. Thanks for your help, Linda. Multitasking, being able to get a lot of things done with not really being too obvious about it. Almost like getting things done kind of quietly. And with that, it does involve multiple people involved in some way, shape, or form. But again, there's like a bit of a surprise element. Like we're not supposed to know a lot about that individual circumstance itself either. This all has to do, Linda, Sarah's mind, I know. This all has to do, I can't even like laugh properly because I'm gonna hurt myself if I laugh properly. Okay. Has to be like doing this one. Okay, too much information. Move on. Okay. So this all has to do with some kind of new opportunity that's also being presented as well, or was presented probably today. Probably today. Yesterday and or today. Okay, now moving on. And again, this all has to do with like a main significant, making all these hand gestures, a significant event and or situation that is part of the overall tapestry, part of this whole main event and or situation. And it has something to do with, again, the qualities of, essentially, I'm seeing a fairly substantial sized dragon, substantially sized dragon. Good sized dragon. So for me, dragons in tea leaf reading, they were like, for me, dragons totally, like, for my own self, represent clarity, yes, maybe clarity, yes, but incredibly intense devotion, loyalty, commitment, unconditional love, support, loyalty, commitment, protection, things along those lines. So whatever that situation is referring to, that's one of the main qualities or multiple qualities that were and or are wow, present yesterday and heading into, I would say even heading into tomorrow. We're not supposed to know a lot of what that information is being presented in here. However, does absolutely, from what I'm seeing in here, involve multiple people, many different people involved in that individual situation. And there's a couple different parts to this. Like overall, yes, it is absolutely the case. And then I would also say within that main event and within this individual aspect of this event in your situation involves another, almost like a secondary, almost like a smaller part or component of those qualities being present as well. So it's a little bit of a complex situation. Now, I would also say that could very well likely be also in here a reference to either Sagittarius, so someone who is that sign and or the qualities and or characteristics of that sign, as well as also like tea leaf. I'm using a lot of words here in case you obviously you can see that. Tea leaf reading really does involve a lot of like words because one image can literally be representing that one image, literal, symbolic, and or both, but can also be referencing like many different things. So I use a lot of words and or phrases to convey my meaning. So hence me saying as much as I do. Okay. So yes, the Sagittarius connection and or the qualities of stability and or the angels present in that situation. My firm opinion is my own very own firm opinion and belief is that we do always have divine guidance with us at every single moment of every single day, but sometimes it's nice to have reminders of that. Looks like a positive situation there, though. There's definitely happy faces present. Now heading into, well, to quick recap in here of, I would say today, yes, definitely a swiftness, a fleetness of movement, but a very gentle fleetness of movement as well. Gentle. Very sweet and gentle, loving scenario. Again, it's this life force, vitality, going for whatever it is that we want to have, as well as partnerships. One specific partnership, seemingly very small, but definitely part, from what I'm seeing here, of the overall event and or situation. And also this idea or this concept of really turning a new page, opening a new chapter, starting a new quality in some way, shape, or form. Things being different in a significant way, even though it is seemingly very small, it does help, again, to lead to the rest of this main event and or situations. It's the beginning of it. Again, just one more time, a lot of communication taking place. I would say, like yesterday and also today, but also definitely, I would say, heading into like from as of Wednesday, like tomorrow, heading on through the end of this week, like to Friday. Yeah. So today, heading like from like today being Tuesday, Again, this is a partially retroactive reading. The qualities of, again, not being held back, going for whatever it is that you want to have, forward movement, forward progression. Also taking some time out for our own self-care as well as this reminder in here of reassurance as well. Reassurance and stability in some way, shape, or form. Almost like being very decisive, feeling very positive, feeling very self-empowered, feeling very good about ourselves. Taking very extremely diligent steps. And somehow there is a connection with this beauty and this self-awareness, this self-love and empowerment, with having diligence wound in with that, like being very diligent, being very aware of the next steps that we do take, and also connection with that, and also communication, and also possibly also receiving communication as well. Possible distance to the family, maybe receiving something financial as well. There's a connection with those things in some way. Again, it seems like throughout this week there are indications here that are referencing creativity, as well as like new creative projects, things along those lines, as well as independent thought, thinking uniquely, thinking for ourselves in some way, shape, or form. But it's like an independent creativity, doing things your way, doing things our way, doing things a little bit differently. Yeah. But again, it's a very gentle energy. Certainly heading into tomorrow. Letter M and or E as well. Positive changes. I keep seeing references in here to forward movement from like yesterday. From yesterday right through till tomorrow, at least Wednesday. Forward movement, not being held back, going for whatever it is that you want to have, life force, vitality, feeling good, feeling positive, feeling like empowered and just ready to go live our lives. That is what I'm seeing in here. Okay. Now, right around Wednesday. So this does involve, what I'm seeing in here, person, place, or thing with the letter T that's involved, and or a Scorpio connection. Dancing, feeling good about ourselves, feeling positive, feeling like celebratory. Also, something to do with abundance and prosperity, maybe even like acquiring abundance and prosperity in some way. Again, this has a possible Scorpio connection, which is all about, again, I'm no astrologer, but transformation, new ideas, like new going within, new changes, creativity, like new changes. All about positive, like forward movement, progression, not being held back, going for whatever it is that we want to have. Person, place, or thing with a letter L. And also, again, working with other people. Keep seeing that. Maybe even like working specifically with 3 different people. Now, Wednesday onwards, still looking at Wednesday. Now, someone may have the number 43, the number 43, like 43, may have a meaning for you. I'm saying that in case that may resonate with you. But again, it's receiving communications about the home and or family, house and or home and or family, independent thought, very sweetness. That's a very sweet energy. Keep seeing that through, like very diligently, sweet energy. Letter N, again, person, place, or thing. It's associated with that. Now, going forward a little bit, I'm going to sort of quicken my pace here a little bit and starting to feel a little bit sore. So let's move on. So on Wednesday, heading into Thursday. Okay, this is again where we have the full 3 parts of this whole event under situation, like really in full swing, where we have like some thinking, some talk, like some thoughts and words, but a combination of that and having surprises and not knowing all the details, and also a combination of those 2 things. Letter Y, person, place, or and or thing, with the letter Y that is involved. Again, forward movement. Now, there is a connection with, I would say, like communication, open communication between 2 people, but one certain thing. And it's like almost like we are communicating with someone who's extremely wily, someone who's very wise, extremely highly intellectual, but also this life force and vitality. There actually maybe some Sagittarius connections involved this week. Letter H, person, place, or thing. I have lost track how many times I have seen horses in here. Horses that are moving, horses that are running. This is, for me, all about this. All signifies repeatedly in different areas of our lives and different events and or situations as part of this whole main event. Forward movement. Forward movement. Not being held back. Life force, vitality, going for whatever it is that you want to have. I keep seeing it. I've lost track. There's got to be like at least 5, 6, at least. And this is between like yesterday, like Monday. We're doing this on Tuesday night. Like Monday, like Labor Day, heading into Wednesday. So that's actually quite a lot for me. When I see like reading tea leaves, that's a lot. So repeated instances of just going for it. Repeated instances of life force, vitality, feeling good, wild, free, unbridled, passionate, loving life, going for it, like those kinds of qualities. I find that extremely exciting. Okay. Person, place, or thing with the letter S involved. W as well. W. That involves a partnership in some way, shape, or form as well. With the letter E. Abundance and prosperity. We have another. We have surprises going down until like Friday, but we have a significant surprise too. I would say around Wednesday. That's like a multi-parter. There's more than one aspect involved, but it does involve either J and or F, as well as again something to do with like a lineage, ancestry, something to do with house and home, home and family, multiple people involved. But really taking time out for our own self-care. Keep seeing that as well. Now going on a little bit further. I am just sort of so surprised at how many references I'm seeing in here to just a sweet, gentle energy, reminders that we are not alone, as well as this like life force and vitality. Tom, I hope I'm saying your name correctly. So I have 2 screens going at the same time here. Oh, well, that was an interesting comment that you made there. What is this? Tea leaf reading. Like I said in the description of this video, tea leaf reading. Weekly tea leaf reading. Okay. Going down a little bit further here, heading into Thursday and heading into Friday. At this point in time, like as of now, as of later, like Thursday and heading into Friday, a lot of conversations, things up in the air, things being discussed. Also referencing here to, okay, cool. I wanted to see this. Okay, well, thanks, Tom. Thank you for that. I will aim to have the replay posted around midday or so tomorrow. Tom, I'm almost finished this tea leaf reading right now. We've been at this since about 9 o'clock Eastern time. So we've been at this for about 48 minutes now. I'm going to finish this tea leaf reading, but you're most welcome to watch the replay, get a bit more information about that. I usually talk about like 15 or so, anywhere from 15 to 20 minutes at the beginning of every single live, a little bit about tea leaf reading. So if you're curious to learn a little bit more, welcome to do that. My website is also in the description box below. You're welcome to go to my website, talk a little bit about tea leaf reading there, and you can check out any of the other lives that we've done, because if you watch the first several minutes of that, I also go into all of this too, so it's nothing too dim. Got a subscriber. Well, thank you so much, Tom. I really appreciate that. That's amazing. Yeah, this is a weekly tea leaf reading, so this is a look at the week ahead to see whatever the universe would like us to know as the days unfold, as the week unfolds. So as of right now, we're like heading into reading. I'm reading around like Thursday and heading into Friday, ready to look into around Friday and heading into the weekend. So we're just wrapping up the reading, but you're just in time for the end of this week and heading into this weekend, Tom. Okay, Tom. So, side note here to answer your question, can you do one for me? Well, I do offer private readings. So if you are curious to have, or if you would like to have a private TV reading, I absolutely do offer those sessions as well. So if you want to book a private reading, you're most welcome to do so. All of those links are in the description box below of this video. And also, if you are curious like to have a quick 5-minute TV reading for free, I do offer that here weekly on YouTube at 9 p.m. on Thursdays. So I will have that live scheduled probably tonight and probably tomorrow. How much I'm going to finish the reading right now, Tom, but all of that information is in the description box below. You're welcome to head over to my website, and I have all of my prices. Everything is listed over right there. So if you're curious, you want to know a bit more information about scheduling a reading, my website is in the description box below. Any questions about scheduling a reading, most welcome to send me a private email. Happy to discuss that with you. Okay, thanks. Thanks for your interest. So let's see, Thursday and Friday. Like I was just mentioning, there's definitely an element here of reassurance that is present from what I'm seeing in here on Thursday and heading into Friday. This does involve, again, I keep seeing references in here to forward movement, forward progression, not being held back, things going ahead nicely. This involves some kind of partnership, but it's like a partnership or abundance and prosperity in a partnership that leads to the same thing. Like, for example, you open a store where you sell knitting products and you also decide to offer knitting classes. It's like one leads to the other. Okay. But it looks like from what I'm seeing in here, it looks like Friday, especially from what I'm seeing, is a very loving, harmonious situation as well. Opening communication between two individuals, lots of happy faces here. So a bit of a unique scenario, a lot of individuals present. But again, it's this forward movement, not being held back, forward progression, qualities present. Something to do with the house and or home and or family. Again, a possible Sagittarius connection with that as well. Okay. Now we also do have Friday heading into this weekend. Bit of a surprise that does, again, surprise, involve forward movement, not being held back, forward progression. Letter F and or N, people, places, and or things. Surprise, we're not supposed to know the information about that. It does result, though, in a new opportunity that's being presented, seemingly quite small. But there's I'm going to say up to 5 different components to it, 5 different parts to it. But one thing in particular, though, is being shown. Letter E and or F. So W, E, and or F, those letters. And this all involves like taking some time out for our own self-care, not like taking some time out. There's also the letter K that's also present. And this is, again, Friday and heading into this weekend. But this is all to do with like, yes, possibly a Sagittarius connection, but not being held back, going for whatever it is that we want to have, like life force vitality. And I'll also say, backtracking a little bit here, looking around the sides of the cup, it looks like we do have some time in the next few days of a bit of a reprieve, a little bit of quiet time. However, we do have 1, 2, 3. I'm going to say that's 3, 4, 5, 6. Anywhere from 6 to 8 individual, I'm going to say up to 8, anywhere from 6 to 8 individual events and or situations taking place. Really, 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 for the most part, from what I'm seeing, in my opinion, not overly important and or significant, but I am saying that in case it may resonate with you and or apply to you. However, 2 of those individual circumstances, especially one of them, is more significant than the others. But again, these are really mainly comprised of thinking and talking, words and ideas, things along those lines. Some of them do relate to individual situations taking place like now or yesterday, and they do lead into, well, the base ultimately. However, there is also a main event and or situation taking place, most likely beginning around Thursday. And if some of us may be going on a trip, so if this is not referring to a physical trip, of some kind. Then it's referencing some kind of event and or situation, which is mostly comprised of like thinking and talking and words up in the air, conversations being had, things along those lines. Okay, but in a few different ways, specifically 1, 2, 3, 4, 8, 9, approximately 9 different ways does lead into the main main event and situation, the vase. They do lead into the vase, which is this weekend and heading into next week. Now, looking in here, it looks like it's going to be quite a busy weekend. Overall, we do have a main event under situation, like a main surprise. We're really not supposed to know a lot of information about that, but overall, there is this forward movement, open communication between two people. Now, when I say not supposed to know a lot, it's a surprise. It's two ways of saying the same thing. Sometimes we're just not supposed to know all the information. That's what I'm seeing in here for this weekend. Oh, Margaret. Oh, hi. Thanks so much for being here, Margaret. Awesome to see you again. Thank you so much. Well, that's Thursday. So that's what I was chatting with Tom about a few moments ago. So we're doing live viewer readings on Thursday. Yeah. So if you want to check back again here on Thursday, we're going to go live again at 9 p.m. Eastern and do the live viewer readings. I haven't posted that. I've scheduled it tentatively. I just have to make it like live. Hi, Green. Hi. Sorry, everyone. My dog has come over to say hello. Hi, darling. 1 second. She likes to come over and say hi. Hi, Brindle. Hi, good girl. She's pretty tiny. I mean, I know I'm standing up right now. Sometimes like she'll come over. Hi, darling. Hi, good girl. Yeah, she'll come over and say hi. Hi, darling. Hi, good girl. Yeah, I'm over here. Good girl. Good girl. Her name's Brie. She's a chocolate lab. Sometimes she'll come over and say hello during the lives. Hi, darling. Good girl. Yeah, good puppy. No worries, Margaret. No worries. It's a bit of an upside down week a little bit. No worries. Okay, Lizzie 77. I'm just going to finish the reading right now, and I'll get back to your question afterwards. Okay. Thanks for asking, though. Just because like we're so close, we're so close, and I don't like. I genuinely don't like to go over an hour. I just feel like it's like kind of like almost like too long to go over an hour. I really try and keep it to an hour, if not a little bit less. So let me just finish this. We're almost close. Like we're so close to being done, and then I'll answer your question. Thanks for asking it. Okay. Okay, so we do have this one main area here. I'm guessing this is in regards to your question. So yes, we do have like this main surprise this weekend and heading into next week. What it is referencing, obviously, I have no idea, but I would just say that there's likely some connection here with a new opportunity that's being discussed that involves like receiving something positive, receiving something, receiving something maybe possibly financial as well. Yeah. Again, as with this as with this reading for this entire week, this weekend, again, there's this gentleness energy, a very sweetness, a delicateness. Delicate, sweet, soft, gentle, compassionate, new, creative, independently thinking, sweet, nurturing, loving energy that I keep seeing. I've been seeing it off and on throughout this week and like throughout this reading, and also definitely from what I'm seeing here for this weekend as well. That's what I'm seeing. But this whole main event here, that's the surprise, involves working with multiple people. I can see that much. What else do we have? Overall, there's really not a lot of let up. It looks like it's going to be a pretty busy weekend. From what I'm seeing in here, we also do have, again, like unconditional love, support, loyalty, commitment, protection, companionship, things along those lines, things of that nature, as well as a positive change as well that's involving two different people, an open communication between two people, can even be between like us and an authority figure in some way, shape, or form. some of us may be still working on that property connection or in some way, shape, or form this weekend. But overall, it's very similar to this main event enter situation that we're seeing here throughout this week, where we do have like this one main area where there's some surprises, things that we're not supposed to really know about too much, conversations, things up in the air a little bit, and a combination of the two. So overall, that's what I'm really seeing for this weekend. So I would say, again, not telling anyone what to do here. Don't do that. Big long disclaimer in the description box below. Please take what you will, leave what you don't. Entertainment purposes only, of course. But using the time that we have, and maybe some reminders in here, to use the quiet time that we do have this week as the days unfold, to be as productive as possible, to get anything that we need to get done. So we are primed and ready to go for this weekend. And yeah, just making use of our time for this week, because it looks like this weekend is going to be pretty busy. So kind of like, you can almost like say that it's a continuation of the main event indoor situation into this weekend. I think I'm going to leave it there. Let me just do one more quick look here. But like, again, like there's a lot of talking taking place. Open communication between two people. Yeah. Letter M, person, place, or thing. Letter J. And again, independent thought, thinking uniquely. Yeah. I'm going to leave it there because I keep seeing references to pretty much everything that, mostly from what we've already said. Very sweet energy, going for whatever it is that we want to have, not being held back, things along those lines. Really feeling self-empowered with a person, place, or thing with the letter E that's involved. Really feeling self-empowered, going for whatever it is that we want to have, not being held back. And we are going to wrap it up right there. So I'm going to post pictures of this tea leaf reading over on my community tab before I make this replay go live. Most likely I'll aim for that for tomorrow around midday. If for whatever reason it's not up tomorrow midday, I will be up by tomorrow night at some point in time. I do try and post regularly on my community tab. I most often do. I was late in posting tonight, so my apologies for that. But if you're ever not too sure if I'm going live or not, most likely I have posted over my community tab. You can always see those updates there, whether I am or whether I'm not. You can always check there. And if you're ever not too sure, come on over to my community tab, check it out. I always typically do posts there. I always post before I go live, whether I am or not. Margaret, thank you so much. Good night to you. And yes, we'll be back again here Thursday evening, 9 p.m. Eastern until time changes again. And then we'll be back at 8 p.m. For right now, we're sticking with 9 p.m. Okay, so everyone, thank you so much for hanging in there. Now, Lizzie77, I'm going to read your question again. Is it something you see and can't say or can't see it? Oh, that's an excellent question. Thank you so much. So I think I sort of kind of inadvertently answered your question after I sort of read it. That's an excellent question. So is it something that I can't see? No, is it something I can see and can't say or can't see it? So I literally and physically am able, in those kinds of situations, I'll show you what I'm referencing. In these kinds of situations, whenever you hear me say, it's a surprise, not supposed to know, I physically can see it. I physically, with my own eyes, can see it. Oh, sorry. Trying to drive here. For example, images which are very tightly grouped like this, like tight groupings like here or here. That's what I was specifically looking at, I think, when you were asking me that. Or here. Those are like 3 examples. Physically, I can absolutely see them. Physically, absolutely, I can see those groupings. So I can physically see them, yes. Is this something you can see? I can physically see it, yes. Can't say, yeah. So in other words, this is what I mean, like tea leaf reading is so complex. The short, easy answer is I can physically see it, but it's a surprise. We're not supposed to know all that information as yet. Because of the fact that I cannot literally see what is taking place within that grouping, within that main event, within that event or situation that it is referring to or referencing. We're not supposed to know. That's the short version. I can't say or can't see. I can physically see it. But if it's being shown in such a way as like those tight groupings where I physically can't see much if not anything, what is taking place within there. I always say, I can't see it. I can't see the details of what's taking place in that event or situation within that grouping. I'm not going to say what that is because I don't know. We're not supposed to know. So hopefully that answers your question. This is what I mean. Like tea leaf reading in a way, it sounds so easy, and it is, but it's also extremely complex. Again, this is sort of like what I was sort of alluding to at the beginning, or mentioning at the beginning of this live, because, oh, no worries. Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, this is what I mean. Like tea leaf reading really is, thank you. I agree. It is very interesting. We could very easily spend a few hours talking about tea leaf reading. I mean, I know that almost sounds like impossible, but it's completely doable. There's a lot that's involved in tea leaf reading. That's just like sort of like talking about tea leaf reading. Never mind, learning or me and sort of showing you how, at least how I read tea leaf reading. There's a lot that's involved in it. To me, it's an exceptionally unique divination tool, because people do read differently. People do read differently. And to me, there's no right or wrong. It's just that everyone does it different. People do it differently. I try not to say everyone does it differently, because I don't think that everyone does read tea leaves differently. I think many people do read differently. And in a way, though, I think it's also very safe to say that everyone does read differently, because we are looking at images which are formed by tea leaves in a cup. They all mean different things. They can be literal, symbolic, and or both. And the way that I describe tea leaf reading is it describes the qualities and or characteristics of events and or situations which are likely to occur. So an image that you see that may mean something will be completely different from an image that I will see that has a different meaning. So there's a lot more to be said with, with that, but I completely agree with you. It is very interesting. It's very, very interesting. And I mean, I'm always learning new things. I'm always seeing new images. I'm always like learning something new, like pretty much every single time I learn something new. So it's crazy. But yeah, thank you so much for asking that. I really appreciate that, and for hanging in there for this long. So everyone, thank you so much again for hanging out here. We definitely went over time, but I really hope that you enjoyed this reading. Again, I'm going to aim to have this replay up tomorrow, and I will post pictures of the tea leaves over on my community tab, so you can check those out too if you're interested in seeing them. So everyone, thank you so much again for hanging out here. Really appreciate that. Please remember to hit that like button. It really, really helps. Lizzie77, thank you so much again for hanging out here. I really appreciate that. I hope that you enjoyed the tea leaf reading. Again, replay will be up tomorrow. Everyone have an awesome, awesome night. I am going to aim to have, let me just check here. It's September 5th, right? Thursday, September the 5th. Yeah, at 9 p.m. Eastern, and that will be the viewer readings. So Lizzie, if you've never had a tea leaf reading and or if you're just simply curious to see what a tea leaf reading is like, if I have a quick, like a taste test of a tea leaf reading, come back over on Thursday night. I'm going to have that live scheduled, most likely tonight, if not tomorrow. And you're most welcome to come back. I do only offer 3 of them, so really it's like a first come, first serve. But you're most welcome to come back and check that out too. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining. Thank you so much, Linda. Good night to everyone. Love you all so much, and have a great, great evening. Happy belated Labor Day. And here's to another awesome week. Bye. See you soon.